I'm talking about newsletter today. The reason why is because it's a part of the acquisition process, right? You guys have all seen the slide of the acquisition process. I'll pull it up really quickly here so you guys can see it, and I'll share my screen just so you guys can see it because people vastly underestimate the value of a newsletter. And I'm going to share a few things on why newsletter. Like, why is it important? Like, why don't we talk about something else? And so you can see the newsletters right here as part of this acquisition process. And my goal as we go through these calls is to add one of these things, and each one can help you get closer to one. Facebook leads will convert at like a 1 to 2%. But when you do all of these things working together over the lifetime of your Facebook lead, as it gets into the 8th and 12th month, we start seeing conversion at like a 17 to 18%. And if you can do that, it's game over. Like, people won't be able to catch you in your market. Not to mention, you're already nurturing your database now because you have your newsletter set up. You're not neglecting your database. You're adding value to it. So this just kind of reiterates, like, the point of this call is like, I want to get all of you guys through each one of these things, right? So just throw in the chat, like, I'd be curious, like, who's running their newsletter weekly? Who's got their newsletter dialed where they feel like, all right, every week I got my newsletter in? And everybody can respond. You can either say yes or no. It's simple. You're either a yes or you're a no. There's no maybe. There's no sometimes. It's either yes or no. And if you got it, great. If you don't, cool. My hope today is that I can add enough value for those who are running their newsletter to make it even better. And also for those who are not running a newsletter, to show you why you should and why there should be 90 minutes stacked in your calendar over the next couple weeks to get this done, and how easy it is to do. Because now I don't even do my newsletter, right? I've opted, like, I passed it off to Grace, my virtual assistant, who does a beautiful job with it. And she knows what I want. And I just look at it and I approve it. And I get my monthly report or my weekly report on how it does. And so it's at a truly optimized process where it's just like clockwork and it's just producing. And one of the reasons why I believe in newsletters, right, is I was running a newsletter and I had a lead we had spoke to, and she didn't respond to any of my. She came into the system, called her, we texted her. She got all the automations. I made a video for her. I even called her from my cell phone. Like, I did literally everything, and got her, sent her the YouTube videos, did all the stuff. 6 weeks later, she emails me and she says, "Hey Kyle, I'm gonna be." She responded to my newsletter. 6 weeks later, she responded to my newsletter, right? And she said, "Hey Kyle, I'm gonna be in town. I'm looking for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, $900,000 cash buyer." I said, "Let's go." Right. And from there on, I was like, dude, newsletters work. You can't tell me that, going making, almost 30K from a newsletter to get a lead that didn't respond to anything, but responded to that. Right. So, I mean, for me, I'm like, okay, of course, newsletters work. So I focus my newsletter now on the agent attraction piece of my business versus the production side, but the framework and the wireframing is all the same, right? I mean, there's literally a few things you could swap out and it would be the same. So I'm going to go over another reason why newsletters are important is because it nurtures your current database, right? So, I mean, how many of you guys neglect your database? I mean, you don't have to throw it in the chat. I know a lot of you guys have or do, and that's okay to a certain degree. But if you realize that every single person refers 2 people a year, and that they literally refer 2 people. They know 2 people that are moving in their current market every single year. And my question is, do you get those referrals? I didn't go on mute. I was just leaving that pause out there just to let it sit there for a second. So, I mean, if you don't, then you need to build a fortress around your newsletters or around your database. Like, there should be a fortress that you build around your database where they're just like, man, we wouldn't use anybody else but Eric or Sam or Jen or Levi, like you, like Kyle, like Jimmy, like you're the only person that we would use because you've added so much value to them. They see that what you're doing in the business, right? And so another reason is, I mean, just the simple question of every single one of your past clients last year, or every single one of your past clients, period, gave you one deal this year. Would you have a good Christmas or a bad Christmas? You'd have a great Christmas. If you've been in the business for 3 years, 2 years, even 1 year, and every single one of your clients gave you a deal, it'd be game over. I mean, you'd be crushing it. Imagine how much you could spend on your ad spend. You wouldn't have to be worried about this $10s and $10 and $20 and, oh shoot, how are we going to go on this vacation? Like, you'd be balling, right? And so the newsletter is a part of that. That's how that happens. And so, I mean, even and I hear it all the time. Your agents saying like, well, I'm from a different market. I just moved here. I don't really have a database yet. It's like every single person you know, period, knows around the country 7 people moving. So even if you got one of those referrals that you got to refer out to a different market, you'd still be making some money. One way that what I would do with your current data, with your current like phone list, like people in your phone, is just invite them to join your newsletter. Invite them to watch your YouTube channel. You're inviting them into what you're doing. You're just going to say, hey, I just started my newsletter on, I see Eric in Sacramento. So living in Sacramento, or what's happening in Sacramento, I'd love for you to be a part of my newsletter. And so you can just stay in pace with what's going on in the market. And as long as there's value, like, and then people register for it. So if you only got their numbers, I would still upload all the numbers into Go High Level and then send them a simple text and saying like, hey, I just wanted, this is Eric. I'm running a newsletter all about living in Sacramento. I'd love for you to be a part of my world with what we're doing. We've helped X amount of people buy and sell in the last whatever many years, and I would love for you to be a part of it. Boom. And if people don't want to be a part of it, then they don't want to be a part of it, but at least you add another 10, 20, 30, 100 people to your database just from people in your phone. So that's one thing that I would definitely do this week. And the truth is, guys, is everything that I tell you, if you don't put time in the calendar to do it, it won't get done. There's a simple 72-hour rule. Like if you don't take action within 72 hours, it doesn't happen, right? And intention without massive action is an insult to people counting on you. And you guys all have people counting on you, whether it's your kids, your grandkids, your future kids, your future spouse, your spouse, or whoever it is. And so the things that we teach you guys, you need to put it in the calendar as we go through this call, or at least write it down and put it in right after. Because if you do not do it, it will not happen. Period. I did a great call on your calendar maybe a couple weeks ago, and that was really good. So actually, I'm going to share where all those live. Let me grab. It's really simple where they live. I put them on my YouTube channel. Okay. So you can follow me on my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Instagram. They're both here. You guys can screenshot this and then follow later. But they live on my YouTube channel, and they're in a playlist called BA Coaching. So you guys can do that. You guys can go watch the retargeting one that we talked about. You can go watch the going and get other people's money to grow your grow. Instead of spending $10 a day, you can go spend $50 a day with a vendor program. So all of it's there. So go ahead and screenshot that, and you guys can go ahead and find that and go watch those. Okay. All right. So another reason why you guys will run a newsletter is because let's say that you say something on social media and you talk about how you like Trump, or I'll just say it. I like Trump, right? And so maybe some of you will jump off. I don't really care, but I say something like that. Now all of a sudden I get kicked out of social media. So the reason why Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms, you can't sell them is because you don't own them. You do not own your followers. You do not own your whatever, right? You don't. And so the truth is that what happens is if you own what sells for a lot of money? Databases. Databases sell for a lot of money. And so if you own your database, it's a different game. And so that's why you want to move all of your followers on social media and Instagram, on all the different platforms, YouTube, to your database. So I encourage you guys, this is why you run the newsletter. And this is why newsletters specifically sell. Go look up, type it down on ChatGPT. How much, I mean, let's just do it instead of just like talking about it. Let me just look real quick. Here, I'll share my screen in a second. How much do now, obviously, not every newsletter is going to sell for big dollars, but a lot of them do. And there's a reason why. It's because there's value. Let's see what pops out. Morning Brew bought a majority stake valuing at 75 million. Okay. So if a newsletter makes 2,000 a month, it's going to sell for 30 to 45 times that monthly value, right? So 60 to 90K for $2,000 a month newsletter. And honestly, I feel like we teach you guys how to create a newsletter that has so much value that people would be willing to pay for it. And who's to say one day you don't start charging for your newsletter? Shoot, what if you charged $1 per newsletter and you had 2,000 people paying you $1 a month? I mean, that would be $2,000 that you could spend on your ad spend. What if when someone moved to your city that you said, hey, I can give you all past year's newsletters for $20? That's a low ticket offer. that you could self-liquidate all of your leads that are coming in, and then you can scale because you have a product now because you did your newsletters every week, right? So you can literally hand somebody all the newsletters that you did last year so they can go through and read all about living in your city, and now all of a sudden you have a self-liquidating like offer that now you can scale your ad spend with, and there's sky's the limit. So I wanted to do this because it shows actual dollar amount value to your newsletter, right? So because it's important to understand like the value of a newsletter, not just like, oh, I should do a newsletter because it's going to help me make more money. Yes, that's true. But when you understand, like, shoot, there's newsletters out there selling for 75 million. There's newsletters out there making $2,000 a month. What would happen if you had all your people giving, even if you had 100 people give you $1 a month? That's still an extra $100 that you don't have, and it adds some type of value to it. Maybe it's $7. I'm just throwing out ideas. Okay, I'm not saying you need to charge for your newsletter, but I'm saying your newsletter should be so good that people would be willing to pay for it. Okay, is that helpful for some of you guys? I hope so. Okay, cool. So now, what does that newsletter actually look like? So I'm going to show you guys what mine looks like, and then you guys can go. I'm going to give you guys a bot at the end that will help you write your newsletter. It'll help you. You can talk to it. I'll demo it out at the end, and you guys can use it however you want. Okay. But I think it's important to kind of see what newsletters look like. Actually, I wanted to pull up. I know you guys all have like that generic one. Let me find. I'm actually not going to show you this because I think it'll confuse you. I'm just going to show you what my growth chart looks like for newsletter. Okay. All right. So I get this every single week from my amazing virtual assistant, Mary Grace. And so she kind of breaks down the math on our numbers. But you can see, the attract ROI, real estate newsletter. And so you can see, I have lifestyle tribes. The first thing you guys need to do is like name your newsletter, right? So if you haven't named your newsletter, it could be the same name as your YouTube channel, right? So it could be, what's happening in Connecticut, right? What's happening in Dallas, living in Dallas, whatever newsletter. Okay. So, and then having some type of logo or header at the top, you can create it on ChatGPT. And the nice thing is, guys, once you have the wireframing for your newsletter and it's built, it's built. Like you don't have to rebuild it. You just need to copy. You just need to swap out the wording for it. So it's really, really easy. And so that's the first thing. The next, I believe that you need to have some type of hero video, right? So the hero video does not have to be your video. It could be a video that's talking about the real estate industry. It could be something like that, they're talking about, the big beautiful bill, right? When that came out, or something that's happening in the news with Jerome Powell getting fired and all, or, moving on and having the next guy come in, and like having a video on that. Like, what does it mean for your client to save money on rates right now, or whatever it is? So some type of hero video at the top. For the record, you're welcome to use any of my videos if you like on your newsletter. So you can do that. Okay. You got that. Okay. And then I like putting in either a joke or a trivia question, right? The joke, you make them laugh, it lightens the mood a little bit. That can be good. A trivia question, it keeps them engaged, right? If you ask a question, it'll make them, scroll to the bottom to get the answer. So if you have a good enough question, it'll really work. Okay. And then from there, you have your hero article. So I would have 1 to 2 articles max, plus like if you're doing a local newsletter for your city, I would include some of the, what do you call it? Like some of the dates of things that are going on, right? So let's say that you had, I don't know. I'm thinking of it like, sorry, the right word I'm looking for is events. So you have like an event calendar, you go to your local city and you can see all the local events that are coming up for your city, and you can put those in there. Like people always like to look at an event calendar. And so if you got your upcoming events for this week or next week, like the big events coming up. So 1 to 2 articles, it does not have to be real estate related, right? In those articles, like it can be, but think of it as more like you're just trying to attract people who enjoy the same thing as you. So if you like to work out, if you like to go on hikes, if you like to cook, I have a girl who added her recipes into her own personal recipes into her newsletter, and she absolutely crushed it because it was just something she enjoyed. So I encourage you guys, part of my success formula is taking what you're passionate about and incorporating it into what you're doing. So if you're a mom and you got a bunch of kids and going to the park is part of your life, then talk about the parks, right? Then talk about, whatever it is that you enjoy. If sports is a big part of your life, talk about that. So talk about the things, music, whatever it is, use those things in your newsletter, right? Now, I encourage you guys to keep some type of system with it, so you're not having to guess what to put in there, right? So like I usually go off of like the 4 F's. For me, it's like faith, family, fitness, finances, right? So those types of four, and usually the finance part is related to real estate. So I'll rotate between those for it. And then see here, I have some type of fitness piece. I have a 100-day webinar. So I'm promoting my webinar with an event ticket, right? And then I have another video in here that's talking about it's a testimonial, right? And then I have my answer to my trivia question and subscribe to my YouTube channel, boom, right? So you got to make sure that you have some type of call to action in your stuff. If you do not have a call to action, then you might as well not even create it, right? So it does not do any good to create a newsletter and then not have some type of call to action. And it doesn't need to be like figure out how much your home is worth or get a cash offer. It could simply be, those are all great things. But if your call to action is always the same thing, then you're kind of getting, it could be as simple as follow my YouTube channel. It could be as simple as here's my calendar, I'd love to take you out to coffee, right? It could be as simple as share this with somebody you like, right? Or whatever, share this with somebody. If this, whatever it is, do some type of call to action. It does not do any good to not have that in there, right? So hero video, 2 articles. You could do 1 article. You have like the stuff that the event calendar, and then you have some type of call to action. So my call to action is come to my webinar, right? Go to my events page, whatever our call to action this week was, go to my webinar, okay? Now here's the result. If you do not track your numbers, what you measure increases. If you don't measure it, then it doesn't increase, right? And so I always set SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, risky, and time frame. So it's important to understand, like, what is your goal for your newsletter this in the next 90 days? Like, is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is there a little bit of risk, and is there a time frame with it, right? So we know that we delivered 2,100 newsletters. We know that we got a 47.65% open rate. We had a 25% click rate. We had a 20% replied, and we got 2% unsubscribed, right? So delivered was 2,100, opened was 1,000, which is great. Clicked was 547. And I'm happy with that. Like, I'm happy with these numbers for a newsletter. If you've been running a newsletter, it's hard to get close to a 50% open rate, right? Consistently. And especially when you're always adding people to your database. So when we're always adding new people that have joined our webinar or new people that have come to our event. Same with you as you're adding people. And the way you guys got to look at this is like, man, you are naturally going to start to repel people that come into your world. And you're also going to naturally start to attract people. But if you've ever worked with somebody that was hard to work with, or that was like the worst experience ever, you want to work with people that you like. And so this is how you do it. You put stuff out there that you like. You put stuff out there that you enjoy. And you will naturally start to attract those types of people. So you definitely want to do that. And I encourage you to, all the tracking is in Attract ROI. It's all in there. I'll even show you where it's at. That's what I didn't want to show you. Reporting. Okay. You can go to your reporting right here. And the way that you send your newsletter, I'm not going to go over that, because you can go to the cash cow and learn how to send your newsletter, or you can come to office hours, and we would love to help you send your newsletter. Cool. Real estate agent newsletter for February 4th. I had 1,541 clicks total. A total unique, 54% unique clicks. I can see what people clicked on. I can see there's 180 people clicked on agents fail. I can see 165 clicked on this article. 184 clicked here. 170 clicked here. 160 clicked here. 537 clicked on my socials, right? Like, I can see where people click, so I know what performed well and what didn't. Or I know, like, hey, if there's something on here that shows 50 or 20, then that probably wasn't a good idea, right? So I can see my emails that I send out for this call. I can see, I can just see this is all my reporting, So I can see my YouTube reporting. I can see my Facebook reporting, my Instagram reporting, all my reporting, right? What you measure increases. So I measure all our stuff. I know Grace pulls all our stuff, and I know our numbers. I know how many leads we're getting. I know how many views we're getting. I know what our YouTube channel, if we look at our YouTube channel, cool. I know that we got 8.5 more hours watched. Your channel got 1,773 views in the last 7 days. I know I got 15 more subscribers, right? Like, that's awesome. That's awesome for me to know. And we're not even pushing YouTube super hard. Like, we're not being as intentional as we could be with some of our content. Now we will be, but we're just not there yet. So we got doing the right things in the right order. All right, so I built this newsletter bot. It's called Newsletter Boss, and I want to show you guys how to use it, and then I'm going to share it with you guys so it can help you guys have an awesome newsletter. So,
Kyle, real quick, sorry.
yes, sir.
As far as the reporting on the clicks, I didn't, is that available in Attract ROI? The
It is. Yeah,
to
you do
see,
have to turn it on. It's a new feature that you
oh,
have to
that's
turn on.
dope. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see like what people click on. You can either
Is
even see, I believe you can see it within the workflows as well now. You can see what workflow, what people clicked on.
is it super difficult to get to or turn on?
Oh, it's not. So it's you send it from like the workflow, right? And you come down here and you can put it in track clicks at the bottom.
Wow. Okay. Is that for the newsletter too?
Yeah, yeah. So when you do this, you would add your newsletter here. So I would send it as a template, your existing template, and then you
Okay.
would have the same thing, right? Where it says track clicks.
Okay.
Does that make
All right.
sense?
I don't think I've ever sent out a newsletter like through a workflow, or do we? I don't remember off the top of my head.
You don't
It's
have to.
been,
You can send it. I like sending it from the workflow for that reason. And I
that's
can
what I want to start
schedule.
doing.
Yeah. And so I'll go over the strategy real quick with newsletter as far as like getting a system around it, like an SOP. So the number one thing that I would do is get it all built, build it 3 or 4 times, right? And then go on Loom, LOOM.com. It's $20 a month. They don't have an affiliate fee or an affiliate. Otherwise, I give it to you. No, I'm just joking. But it's just Loom. And I would take that and I would record your process of how you create your newsletter, right? Whether you use our bot or whether you use another to do it, or whether you go to CNBC and grab articles about real estate, or you go to your local, whatever you do, whatever your process is to create a newsletter, right? You're going to record that process. Okay. And maybe you record it twice. Okay. Now that entire process from sending it to uploading the pictures to making it your style, your stuff, now it's done. And you can hand that off to a virtual assistant. You can hand that off to an assistant. You can hand that off to somebody else that can do that. Because in reality, it is not probably the best use of your time to be building a newsletter every single week, right? Is it important? Yes. Is it part of the acquisition process? Yes. Should you do it? Yes. You should do it until you become so confident in it that you can record the process and hand it off to somebody else and pay them to do it, because your time is better spent probably making a phone call, meeting with the client, being kneecap to kneecap with the client. So I mean, I've referenced this book. You definitely need to go spend time on my YouTube channel and watch the video, the coaching call I did on time. It was a really good call, and I got a lot of good feedback from it. So I highly encourage you guys to go watch that again. I referenced the book Buy Back Your Time. There's a lot of good things in there, but I would definitely do that. So that's how you get leverage, right? Is you record the process and then you hand it off to somebody else that can do it for you, right? That would be number one, in my opinion. So get it all dialed in, make sure you send it. And then I'm going to jump in. There's a platform out there. I know we had talked about deliverability. When you listen to the training on the newsletter, you do not want to drop all 4,000 or even 400 people the newsletter all at once. You really want to um, warm up your email. And so you could send 20 every 30 minutes for like the next week, even if it goes into several weeks, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to hurt your sending domain, right? So you can schedule out your newsletter to go out every 20 minutes. If you want help with how to do that, you can hop into office hours and we're happy to show you how to do that. One tool that you can use called instantly.ai. AI, and I'll throw it in the chat, is a platform that you guys can use to go warm up your domain. Now, it's not necessarily cheap, but if you're at that spot in your business and you're like, hey, I don't want to wait, I just want to get it done, and you can afford, $100, it makes sense for you to do it, then do it. Or you can be patient and do it the normal way. So this will warm up your domain for you. You can also buy domains instantly.co. There you go. So there it is. It'll warm up your domain and it'll allow you to have a better deliverability. Okay. Okay. I wanted to show you guys this bot real quick and just demo it out. Yeah. So, and then I'll share with you guys. So, all right. Hey, I am looking at building out a newsletter for my local city. I'm in real estate and I need you to ask me the questions that you should ask so I can have awesome newsletter.
All right, let's nail this. First off, name of your city or area. Then what vibe are you going for? Professional, laid back, or community focused? Also, how often do you want this newsletter to go out? And what kind of content do you want to highlight? Market trends, local events, home tips, or maybe spotlight local businesses?
Yeah. Great question. So I live in Durango, Colorado. The newsletter is going to go out once a week. We're going to call it What's Happening in Durango. And the vibe is going to be professional, but also kind of a laid back feel, community feel is what I really want, is try to build a tribe of people that enjoy the same things that I enjoy. The newsletter is going to focus on having a hero video at the top. And I can copy and paste the framework into it for you, but it's going to be a video at the top. But then we'll have like a joke of the day or like a trivia question. And then we'll have one or two hero articles or one or two articles. I really I want the article. We'll talk a little bit about like things to do in the city. So like hiking and biking and stuff like that. And then we'll also have a section of where it goes over what's the events for the month or for that week. And then we'll have some type of call to action at the end. But I want it to be pretty simple.
Got it. To make sure it really clicks with your audience, what's your ideal target audience? Are we talking mostly locals, people relocating, or a mix? What kind of tone do you want for your joke, trivia, lighthearted local history, or something else? And for those call to actions, do you picture them guiding readers toward home listings, community meetups, or something else you'd love them to do?
Yeah, great question. So in regards to the jokes, let's kind of have it be Kevin Hart style. And in regards to I don't remember. What was your other question?
No worries. I asked about your target audience. Are you
Yeah,
aiming mostly at local?
Yeah, my target audience is going to be people that are second homeowners in the area, so they're familiar, but they don't spend a ton of time here, just because their price point, they're usually spending more money. So second homeowners is going to be ideal, but I also want it to be for locals. So I want it to feel kind of like a local secret newsletter where it's for locals. But if someone gets it that is not local, they feel like super privileged to read it.
That's a great blend. So for that call to action, do you envision nudging these folks to check out new listings, attend local events, or maybe connect with you directly for a property chat?
Yeah, so I would want them to check out my YouTube channel. So they can go watch my videos on new construction and some of our home tours.
Perfect. That'll tie in nicely with your hero video vibe. Now I've got everything I need to help craft that awesome local but exclusive feel. Let me know when you want to slot the framework in and we'll make it shine.
You can just run with it. I'm demoing it out right now. So just run with what you got. Pull data from local news and things that are available on the internet. And let's just get a mock one done real quick.
In Durango, Colorado, the city will offer free transit from January 28th to 31st during the Snowdown Light Parade. Upcoming events include Winter Bike to Work Day. No problem. I'll draft a quick mock version based on what we've discussed, so you can revisit or tweak later. Perfect. Whenever you're ready, we'll pick right back up.
Thanks. All right. So you guys don't even have to type it. You can just talk to it, right? If you want to type it to it, you can. If you need help with the framework, you can do that. You can also just say, and it's writing it right now, so it's going to go ahead and throw it all in there. If I wanted to have my point with this bot is that it can just help you guys either rewrite articles so you're not plagiarizing and making sure you're giving credit to where that goes, or if you have an idea but you want to run it by, this is just it's been programmed to take newsletters that have been very, very successful and have had a lot of have made money. You guys can now take what you are currently doing and have it give you ideas, or can make it better, or you can not use it at all. So that's the point of this. Okay. And if you don't like typing, then you can just talk to it and maybe get more done that way. So that's the point of me sharing this with you guys. And then I know there's some questions, so I'm happy to answer questions, but I'll throw this in the chat for you guys. All right. You guys is there any questions? Nada? You guys got it?
Everybody's blown up.
Yeah, it's great information.
Cool. I would say the biggest thing, guys, is just put time in your calendar to get it done, right? Like you do not want to go 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now and not get your first newsletter out, especially with AI. Like you can get it done in 15 minutes, right? But once you figure out that framework and you get it rolling, now you can easily pass it on to other people. I think it's important to, I just think it's important to get it done. And the first one's never going to be good as your next one. And really create a system. The one thing that I'll say is that sit down on the second Tuesday of the month and write all 4 newsletters. Get it done in 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it takes you. Get it all done, get it all ready, right? And then if you need to swap out a hero video or a hero article because something else happened that was going to be more engaging, then do that. But if you could sit down, I mean, it's just like batch content shooting. Like when you go shoot your videos and you do it in batch, same thing with the newsletter. Sit down for 90 minutes, get it done, and then you go to the next thing. So that's what I got for you guys. Crush it, guys. Adios.